Surrey is the fastest growing city in Canada and on track to become the largest municipality in British Columbia by 2021. Home to over 600,000 residents who are divided up into 7 different town centres,
City Centre, Cloverdale, Fleetwood, Guildford, Newton, South Surrey, and Wally.
and a rapidly growing economy with more than 2,500 new businesses opening within our borders every single year. What a place to be. But there is a problem with rapid growth. Yes, growth equals more money, which equals better services, which equals better standard of living, which equals more people and more business, which equals more money, and the cycle continues. But as was shown with the Roman Empire and more relevantly, the far-reaching unending sprawl of many cities in North America, unplanned growth often leads to disaster, whether it be invading barbarians or traffic-filled, polluted suburban landscapes. Surrey's official slogan is, "The future lives here." But how can Surrey grow in a sustainable way that can withstand the problems of today and those of the future? Sustainable development is a method of growth that involves a city or region developing with as minimal of an impact on the ecosystems and social systems already in place. This would include redevelopment of previously used land rather than outward expansion, converting to renewable energy resources, an emphasis on public transportation, and using environmentally friendly building materials. A sustainable city would be able to function and grow in a near limitless way with a minimal impact on the natural world. Converting large cities into sustainable living places is a rather common goal in many parts of the world, with cities like Copenhagen and Vancouver both having goals to become carbon neutral in the coming decades. However, in order to become a completely sustainable city, you would require changes to the basic fundamentals of how the economy currently works, which has been one of the main challenges for many places. What kind of changes? Well, our current economic system is based on a simple process: take, make, waste. Now, this has been changing in recent years to an extent, but this idea still acts as the foundation for most businesses. Take, extracting raw materials from the earth, example, drilling for crude oil. Make, turning that raw material into a consumable product, example, refining that oil into petroleum or gasoline. Waste, using that product until you no longer can for its intended purpose. Example, burning gasoline to power a vehicle until the tank is empty. See the problem? When an economy is based on exploitation, people will exploit. So what's the alternative? The circular economy, which is a topic that is rather large and should be left for another day. But here's a quick rundown. Raw materials are only used when absolutely necessary, and only materials that can be reused are taken. Example, lumber. Once those materials are built into products, try to keep them in use as long as possible by building them to last. If a product cannot be used any longer, recycle it for the raw materials it contains. And so the cycle continues. Of course, it's not perfect, but placing more emphasis on the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle, is a step in the right direction. And as technology improves, we will be better capable of keeping our materials in circulation. The system is meant to design waste and pollution out. In 2014, the Surrey Sustainability Charter was approved. It was a set of guidelines and goals that will direct all development in the city for the next 40 years. I won't go into detail on every aspect of the plan, but thankfully it outlines 5 simple challenges that provide an easy look at what the city thinks needs to be accounted for. Challenge number 1. Accommodate population growth. Surrey is going to get very big very soon. Where do all these people live? We can't just expand outwardly forever. The city has nearly run out of space for outward expansion anyway. Solution? Densification. You've probably seen it around the city already. Long gone are the days of single-family housing with large lawns and cul-de-sac streets. Look around the city and you'll see numerous multi-level townhouses and condo projects sprouting up, along with tall apartment skyscrapers in the city center. The goal is to pack as many people into as small a space as you can, with it still feeling nice and comfortable and not like some authoritarian nightmare. China. Russia. Challenge number 2. Match population with business development and employment. So, you got all these people. What are they here to do? People need to work to pay to live in places and enjoy the city. That's why for all the people you add, the city needs to make sure there's adequate employment and opportunity for them. The city center is already growing into a thriving business district, and many companies have expanded out into Surrey. I'm not sure exactly what the plan here is because, well, the charter is long and boring to read, but trust me, this part is important. Challenge number 3. Reduce reliance on private automobiles. This is my favorite one because it involves lots of infrastructure and awesome projects. Let's face it, cars are inefficient and smelly, and we love them. So how do we balance this? Well, in order for cars to work efficiently, you need less on the road. How do you do that? Give people more ways of getting around. The Expo Line expansion to Langley is already a big help in this regard. Hopefully after its completion in 2024, it'll take some of the stress off of the busy Fraser Highway, which Premier John Horgan has promised to modernize following his win in the 2020 BC election. Surrey has also upgraded bus services from Newton to City Centre, one of the busiest routes in Surrey, along with ambitions of a rapid transit line to Newton and South Surrey in the future. Surrey's been putting a large emphasis on large-scale mass transit projects in the next few years. There's also other stuff in the charter about energy costs and usage and water and boring stuff, and that'll all be left for a topic for another day. But to summarize, Surrey is taking sustainability seriously and we'll be seeing the changes very soon. Time to use your imagination. What do you think Surrey should look like in 20 years, 10 years, or even next year? What should be implemented, rebuilt, torn down? Well, I have a few ideas. Personally, I'd like to see parts of the tossed LRT plan come to light. I'm in favor of the SkyTrain to Langley as I see the possibility for it to then extend into the rest of the South Fraser Valley, but I also like to see rapid transit to the Newton Exchange. Perhaps another SkyTrain down the route with an ability to expand to White Rock. How cool would it be to take the SkyTrain to the beach? And later on, LRT can be used to form a sort of ring road system around Surrey. Think an LRT from Fleetwood to Newton, or from City Centre to Guildford, or even out to Cloverdale. My other idea is kind of out there, but I like the idea of a big riverfront. I know right now Scott Road is mainly an industrial area, but think about the possibility of a riverfront walkway like in New Westminster. It would make a wonderful new luxurious neighborhood. But alas, these are all just ideas. Who knows what the future holds?